This budget gravel bike is a great value, but it's definitely not perfect. I've been riding the State Bicycle 6061 all-road for quite some time now, and while there's a lot that I really like about this bike, there are a few things that keep it from being an instant must-buy for me. My name is Adam, this is the MTB Rad Dad, and let's jump into it. Now, before we get started, State Bicycles did send this bike out to me for review, but I do technically have to send it back. They're not paying me, they don't get to see this video early, and everything you're about to hear is my honest experience. I do, however, get to keep this bike if I pay for it with a discount. Now, some quick specs on the bike. It's got a 1x11 drivetrain with a clutch. It's got a carbon fork. It has through axles front and rear. It's got hydro-mechanical brakes, which we're going to talk about here very soon. It's got great stock tires and a complete bike weight that's actually pretty respectable for this price point. On paper, it has a lot of features people want in an entry-level gravel bike. The first thing that hit me was the paint. Mine is the copper brown color, and honestly, it looks awesome. State always nails their finishes, and this one stands out in the sun without being too flashy. The bike also has 3 mounting points, one on the down tube, one on the seat tube, and the other one on the top tube. So you've got some decent versatility for bags and bottles. Now, for sizing reference, I am 5'10", and I went with a medium, and the fit felt just right for me. Now let's talk about that 1x11 drivetrain. Shifting was solid. The clutch derailleur does a good job of keeping everything quiet, especially when you're off-road and taking advantage of some single track. It's not super amazing shifting, but it definitely works, especially when this is only a $1,400 complete bike. And the gear range felt good for rolling gravel and road, and on the steeper climbs, I found myself wishing for just a little bit more range. Nothing terrible, just something to keep in mind depending on your terrain. Now, one of the things that could be better on this bike are the brakes. The hydro-mechanical brakes are decent, but they left me wanting a bit more. They stop you, they're decently predictable, and there is a reach adjust on the levers, which is a nice touch. But once you start descending faster or hitting longer rough sections, you're going to be really wanting some full hydraulic brakes. Again, they're not bad, they're just not amazing. I could just be spoiled with my TRP brakes on my mountain bikes that are just so good, especially with the MTX brake pads. Now for the wheels and tires. The stock tires are genuinely great. They hook up better than I expected on loose gravel, and they held their own on my local mountain bike trails. For a budget-friendly build, this is one of the nicer surprises. They remind me a lot of the Specialized Pathfinder Pros, which were my favorite tires on my previous gravel bike. There are through axles front and rear, which is a huge bonus, and a lot of bikes in this price range can still use quick release, so it's nice to see a more modern setup here, which should make getting a new wheel set, if you decide to, a lot easier. The saddle is fine. It's okay for shorter rides, but after about 10 to 15 miles, I really started wishing I had something nicer. Definitely not a deal breaker, but if you pick up this bike, the saddle might be the first upgrade you do, as those are very personal to each person. And if you are happening to look for new components or say a new saddle, you could check out the channel supporter, Jensen USA. I'll have a link for them down in the description below. Handbars and grips were totally fine for me. Nothing super uncomfortable there or any issues. Now, most of my time on this bike has been on 3 things. It's been on the road, it's been on the trainer, and some local fun mountain bike trails. And honestly, this bike handles the local mountain bike trails way better than it should. On the road, it feels lively and comfortable. On the gravel, it feels stable and predictable. And on mellow mountain bike trails, it handles really well, and I caught myself going way too fast. And I even took it down some stuff that is a bit rough on just a mountain bike. The carbon fork does a good job of taking off the edge on the rougher sections, but don't expect full comfort. It is still a rigid gravel bike at the end of the day. So here's what I like and stood out the most. It's got great paint and an overall look. I love that it has through axles front and rear. It's got solid stock tires. The carbon fork at this price point is a really nice touch. That 1x11 drivetrain performs pretty well, and it's got a good balance of comfort and stability. For $1,400, it's a stacked feature list. And here's the not perfect part. The brakes could be better, and I get that they're better than the previous version of this bike, but I still am spoiled by proper hydraulic brakes. But for a beginner rider, I think that these brakes are going to be more than adequate for most of what anybody's going to do. So if you're looking at this as your first bike, I don't think that these brakes are going to hold you back. The saddle does get pretty uncomfortable the longer you ride on it, but it is decent for the shorter trips. Now, here's the big question that we're asking. Is it worth $1,400? For a budget gravel bike with thru axles, a carbon fork, clutch derailleur, and great stock tires, yeah, I think it's absolutely worth it at that price point. And right now, during the sale that's going on currently, you can get it even cheaper at $1,100. But just like the title says, it's not perfect. The brakes and the saddles are probably the weakest points on this bike, and depending on where you ride, the gearing might hold you back just a little bit. So if you're looking for a solid, good-looking gravel bike that rides well on the road, on light gravel, and even some mellow mountain bike trails, the State 6061 All-Road is a great value bike that gets a lot right. It's not trying to be a race bike, and it's not priced like one. But for what it is, it's really capable and really fun. If you want to see how this stacks up against future bikes, let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see another state bicycle video that I did, you can check out this one right here. Hit that like if this helped you out, and I'll catch you on the next one.